Hey Netflix, what's this show about?
It's a long story involving multiple deaths.
You had me at multiple deaths.
I'll believe it when I see it!
Netflix's Russian Doll is a dramedy that follows Nadia, a cynical, self-absorbed New Yorker who must relive the same few days over and over again. So in this video we're going to explain the timeline, ending, and some of the details you may have missed along the way. But in order to understand the ending, we must head to the beginning. Nadia is a chain-smoking alcoholic having a self-proclaimed midlife crisis at her 36th birthday party. She's concerned over the disappearance of Oatmeal, a neighborhood cat, and when her friend Lizzie suggests she make Oatmeal an indoor cat, Nadia snaps, saying,
You know what? I don't believe in dictating the boundaries of a sentient being's existence. For you, it's safety. For me and Oatmeal, it's a prison.
And a prison is exactly what Nadia is going to get. In her search for Oatmeal, she's struck and killed by a car, but mysteriously wakes up in the same exact spot where the episode began. The time loop that she gets caught up in is her own metaphorical prison. She, in essence, becomes like Oatmeal, lost, trapped, but yearning to be free. What transpires until her eventual meeting with Alan in episode 3 is a search for answers. She spends episode 2 tracking down War Dog, who she finds out laced Maxine's joint with ketamine. But when she rules that out as the culprit, she loses all hope and spirals into a binge of alcohol and cocaine. The symbolism of the door handle gun and the pipe gun evident that she is killing herself both physically and mentally. She doesn't know this yet, but until she can heal the underlying problems of what's causing her to act this way, nothing will change. And thus she is doomed to repeat her 36th birthday, the most terrifying day of her life, over and over again. And her 36th birthday carries extra significance because it's also how old her mother was when she died. And understanding her relationship with her mother is key to unlocking the reason why Nadia is stuck in this loop. But we'll get to that in a bit. In episode 3, Nadia believes that her friend's loft, where the party was held, has something to do with this loop, because it was formerly a religious yeshiva building, and it may have somehow cursed her. So she asks her ex John to talk to the rabbi and get some answers. And the rabbi lets out this piece of information.
Mysticism teaches that there is wisdom inaccessible to the intellect. You can only reach it through surrender, being nothing.
And Nadia hasn't surrendered yet. She hasn't opened herself up to the thing that causes her the most pain. Until that, she'll remain haunted. And as the rabbi says about the building,
The buildings aren't haunted. People are.
It's only when Nadia meets Alan, a man who also suffers from this perpetual death loop, that they both start to get some answers. And Alan is a great foil to Nadia because he's the exact opposite. He's a clean freak, likes control and structure. He cares for others, namely Beatrice, and is weak and timid. The meeting of Alan and Nadia is crucial because only by them working together can they solve the mystery of the time loop. As Farron says,
no one can do anything by themselves.
Alan and Nadia teach each other lessons that will help them unlock the pain that is deeply rooted in themselves, the pain neither of them want to confront. Alan, instead of confronting it, throws himself off a roof. Nadia does it by distancing herself from those who care for her the most, her friends and John. She also does this by not confronting the guilt she feels for her mother's death. In episode 7, Nadia is haunted by the ghost of her younger self. It's a reminder of what she did to her mother. She confides in Ruth, telling her that when the social worker asked if she would rather live with Ruth or her mother, she chose Ruth. And within a year, her mother had killed herself. So she now feels guilt for that decision, even though it was clearly the right decision due to her mother being mentally unstable. Alan needs to get over Beatrice and let her be whoever she wants to be. He visits her and lets it all out, his true feelings, not only about her, but about himself. He tells her he finally let someone help him, and she asks who, as we immediately cut to Nadia and her scene where she opens up to Ruth. We have two characters, one right after the other, opening up about their deepest fears, finally confronting them. It is only then that the loop is fixed and they die one final time. But the story isn't over here. They have broken the loop but are given one final chance to make things right. Early on in the last episode, both Nadia and Alan realize that they are in two separate timelines where neither recognizes the other. Nadia must save Alan, who is drunk and unstable, from committing suicide, while Alan must save Nadia from getting run over by a car. Nadia follows Alan and watches him so he doesn't go over the roof, while Alan must convince Nadia he knows her by revealing the exact amount of money her grandmother made by selling the gold bullion, and eventually saves her from getting run over by the car. Nadia sums up the events quite beautifully by telling a drunk Alan a story. that, quote, life was too painful or they were too fragile. Then one night, something miraculous happened. They made it through alive. And they did. But there's one final problem. In each timeline, Nadia and Alan have versions of themselves which are the same destructive selves seen in episode 1. But this time, they have each other. As Nadia and Alan say,
"You promise if I don't jump, I'll be happy."
Oh, man. Absolutely not. But I can promise you that you'll not be alone.
And in each timeline, they walk off together, friends, helping each other overcome their faults, ready to take on the world, renewed and full of hope. There's also the matter of how the timeline works. It's best summed up in episode 7 when Nadia uses the orange to explain the theory of relativity. Essentially, the outer layers of the rotten fruit and dead flowers we've seen throughout the season experience time differently than the inside, like how the orange is rotten on the outside but fine on the inside. The outer layer experiences time differently than the inside, just like how Nadia and Alan experience time different from everyone else. Nadia equates their current situation to programming because she's a pro coder. Sometimes you have a crash which is caused by a bug. Their crash is death, and their bug is reliving the same loop over and over. If they can fix this bug, they can stop the crash. And the way to do that is to go back to the moment they first met at the deli. And that's exactly what they do. By meeting and helping each other on that fateful night, they can prevent this all from happening in the first place. Russian Doll isn't just a
Long story involving multiple deaths.
It's the story of two people finding each other, confronting their inner demons, and moving on with their lives to help others. And also kick-ass hobo parades. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to give this video a like and to subscribe, and leave me a comment telling me what you thought about the show. I have more videos coming up, so make sure that the bell is on. And as always, remember, Daddy loves you very much.